Thank you. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Happy Saturday. Hope you all are doing well. Let me get in the microphone so you can hear me. OMG. Thank you guys for coming. I'm glad that you're here.
Raise a toast to that Ritz cracker taste and a toast.
You know, I always got commercials. Take my glasses off for a sec because these glasses they're not my regular glasses. They're not my regular glasses. Oh goodness. Oh. Y'all, I need to be a little better today than I am. Just a little discombobulated. Here we go. All right. We ready, right? We ready. Happy Saturday, everybody. Thank you for coming out to this show. Thank you for hanging out with me, Miss Divine. If you didn't know, if you're new to this place, I'm gonna let you know what it's all about. Divine Living is a personal growth and wellness show. I'm taking these glasses off today. It's a personal growth and wellness show designed to help you and me be well. I have two awesome guests. I see one guest in the building already. I hope that I can make it without glasses today. We're gonna see what happens because I put these lashes on and my regular glasses are way too short for lashes. So I can't wear glasses. Oh gosh, I know, right? So I got these other ones on and they don't look good. They don't look good. Yeah, they just ain't giving. See, they doing too much they doing too much glaring. They just doing too much. So y'all don't be y'all that are red. Y'all gonna have to help me with the comments today. Help me with the comments today because I can't see. I can't see. Oh goodness. Yeah, that's the thing. I can't really see without my glasses. So y'all don't let nobody come up in here trying to be all bullying and stuff to me because I can't see and stuff. So y'all help me out. Y'all help me out, right? Y'all gonna help me out? We gonna see how this gonna work. Y'all, these glasses gonna end up being back on. Because I can't see my paper. Oh my goodness. Anyways, I got two awesome guests in the building. And y'all can go ahead and request the box. Y'all can go ahead and request the box because I'm doing the most this morning. Yeah, this is Divine Living, a personal growth and wellness show designed to help you and me be well. Today, we are talking about unmasking shadows. October is Emotional Wellness Month, and it is coming to a close. OMG, it's coming to a close. October is coming to a close. And y'all know, October is also the month of my birthday. Yay! It was way back on the 7th, the first weekend of the month. The very first weekend of the month. So this is a semi-themed show. We're talking about unmasking shadows and what that means to us and my guest. And we're going to see what they looking like this morning too. We're going to, let's see who's in the box. Y'all ready? Are y'all ready? I'm ready. Like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for these two lovely ladies to be coming and joining me. If you don't have me followed on Instagram, then you probably don't know who's on the show today. So you need to hit the follow on Instagram. It's in my bio. It's in my bio. So y'all come on and hang out with us this morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good
I never
morning.
can hear. Okay. Hopefully I can hear y'all. Can y'all speak for me?
Hi.
Okay, good, good, good. I was like, y'all better talk. I asked y'all to speak and y'all can't talk to me. Okay. Oh,
Corpse bride.
good morning, y'all. Good morning. I was like, are they frozen? What's happening? We here, right? We here. Good morning, everybody.
Thank you.
I have my friends here. I'm so happy to know these beautiful women. And I'm happy that they have decided. Look, I'm happy that they have decided to join me today. Now, I'm gonna mess with somebody real quick. If everybody will just give Wick a round of applause for joining us today. I'm happy that John Wick is here. I've been messing with Wick for a while, telling him that he needs to come by and see my show. And I was just happy that I was hanging out with Light last night. And Wick had some awesome things to feed into us last night. So I'm no, for real, Wick, I'm happy for your presence. Thank you for being here. Okay, let's get this thing started. Let's get this thing started. Now, I did have a whole shawl and stuff on, but I'll put that on later. Yeah. So let's get started, ladies. Let's get started. So this show is about unmasking our shadows. How would you define the concept of shadows? How would you define the concept of shadows and how it relates to our psychology? I know that's a little deep,
Yeah.
but I know y'all can get there and go there with me. So that's why I'm starting there with you all. I love you all, and I'm loving that we're digging into this with the two of you. So when it comes to our human psychology, how do you define shadows? I don't ever tell anybody to go first because sometimes you just don't feel it. So when you feel it, you speak it.
For me, the proverbial shadow is a lot of places where people like to hide. And it's not necessarily bad things that they hide. Sometimes they hide themselves from other people. Sometimes they hide themselves from themselves. Sometimes
Mhm.
that's where their vulnerability, and they feel like there it's protected, there it's safe. So I feel like, yeah, shadows are a good place to store things for a lot of people.
Mhm.
To piggyback off of what Light said, I look at shadows as like masking, pretty much hiding. Um, as far as like hiding, I feel like a lot of people have yeah, facade. I feel like a lot of people hide behind for different reasons. You know what I mean? So for shadowing, I look at it as like people are masking their
Yeah.
true intentions, masking who they are, their personality.
When I first heard of shadows and shadow work, it was here on tag. I was like, what are they talking about? It was a new concept to me on what shadows were. And it may have been you, Light, in my, yeah, I think it was. Light had said it on a previous show here. She said, I'm doing my shadow work. I was like, what the heck is she talking about? Some shadow work. I want to know what it is. Let me figure it out. So I started digging more into it, like what is this shadow work all about? And um I'm glad that I did, because a lot of times with shadows and knowing what shadow work is, I realized that there's a lot of things that, like with actual work, there's a lot of things that you can, um, that we hide from subconsciously. We just continue to do the work of this daily thing. We just continue to do this daily thing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Um, and forget about what or where we are. So, when it comes to shadows, do you think that shadows are solely negative? Is or is there are there positive attributes to shadows?
I definitely think there are positive attributes to shadows because not everyone has the mental, emotional capacity to take on everything at one time. And like I stated earlier, shadows are also a good place for you to hide your vulnerability. They're also a good place for you to store some of those things that you're too afraid to attack at this moment, or you got to take it one step at a time when you're overcoming certain things. And I feel like a lot of the shadows that people have are really their safe zone. You know what I'm saying? They're place to run away and not have to be seen or not have to be on all the time. It's a place for them to like revere as shelter, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ooh.
For me, I think that shadowing, I agree with light again. It has a lot of positive attributes. I believe that, I mean, I could use myself for example. I would shadow, just pretty much trying to like, as far as getting close to people, because from recent things in the past, that has happened to me where I felt like I had to protect myself. So therefore, I would shadow my personality and who I was because I didn't want to become too close to anyone.
Mm.
So I believe that
Mm-hmm.
it could be positive as far as just like protecting yourself, protecting your feelings, more as than just
Mm-hmm.
it being straight negative.
I think it's all about the person and what
Right.
they are trying to do with life for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of people who won't address anything of a negative standpoint or anything in that nature. So like I just think it depends. It's character based, personality based.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree as well. Good morning, everybody. This is Divine Living. I have my two lovely friends in the box today, Light and Wavy. And we're talking about unmasking shadows. We've kind of said what shadows they mean to us, as well as if shadows are positive, if there can be positive attributes to shadows, or is if it's all negative. Now, when I talk about shadows, I automatically go to the negative. I don't necessarily think about positive things or what what positive things I can get out of shadows, because I feel like there's a lot of things that I've grown up in that have hindered me from being who I wanted to be. So when I initially think about shadows, I'm like, I'm dealing with the hard things of the past and not embracing many of the things that may have shaped me to be who I am, you know? Because honestly, shadows are the things that make us who we are. They make us who we are. Those can be negative and positive things. It can be the things that we've grown up to know in family settings, in community settings, that actually create a foundation of who we who we are made up to be. All right. So, with all of that, how do you think that fear plays a role in the presence and like manifestation of our shadows?
It's a big role. Most of the stuff for me. My shadow consists of my vulnerabilities and things that I'm afraid. I feel like if I can place them there and work on them little at a time, I'm not exposed to anything. Can't no, there's nothing that can alter it prior to me fixing it. No one can have their 2 cents on it type of ordeal. Um, but I think a lot of it is fear of the unknown, fear of self, fear. A lot of people are even afraid of their own greatness. You know what I'm saying? And nine times
Mm,
that's really what it is. So I feel like shadows, placing some things in shadows, definitely a hindrance. I feel like if we don't get to a mindset of understanding that we are powerful and we do have the tools that we need inside of us to be great, then we'll never be able to manifest or move through any of those shadows that we've made even darker. Because not all shadows
mm-hmm,
is there's some silhouettes, there's some little beams of light, you know what I'm saying? But those
mm-hmm.
really dark places where it's impenetrable, that's where the true fear lies. And that's where the true hindrance lies.
Yeah, yeah.
You hit on a lot of things that resonate with me. With fear, I'm agreeing a lot with what Light saying today, but I feel like it hinders me in a lot of ways because as far as like knowing what I'm capable of, doubting myself, and manifesting, like I truly believe as far as like your words are powerful. When you write things down, it's powerful. When you write things down, it's powerful. But I still have those times where it's that doubt, it's that fear. Like, what if I put this out and this don't do, as
I feel
well, or people may not like it, or if I put myself out there more, that could
Mm-hmm.
be a scary thing as well. So I definitely agree with Light as far as like wanting to accomplish things, and then you just still feel that like, should I do it? Should I not do it? You put
Right.
myself out there because it's all about putting yourself out there and stepping out your comfort zone, and it's not going to be comfortable. It's never going to be
Mm-hmm.
comfortable. So I
it all has
totally agree.
Yeah. I when it comes to fear, the shadows that the fear that resonates in our shadows, I can say that that is a huge thing for me. Very huge thing because one of the things in my past that just dealing with being me is the fear to speak. It was never anything that was promoted in me in my youth, that speaking was a good thing, that my voice was important. And I'm not just saying speaking up. I'm also just saying speaking out, So it was like, no, you don't do that. You sit here, you don't talk, you don't say anything. If I remember as a kid being questioned, and then if I answered, being in trouble. Like, you better answer me, but you better not say the wrong thing. You know what I mean? So it was just like, no. And then it was always that same thing. I remember always being in trouble because I was speaking, and not because I spoke in disrespect, but just because I spoke, you know? So for a while with me, speaking was just like, I'm not going to do it because I'm going to say something wrong. I don't want anybody to hear me say anything because I'm going to say the wrong thing. So I didn't talk. I'm not saying that I was like, a you hear like Maya Angelou where she didn't speak for years, but it was very hard for me to ever say anything. So people always was like, "Oh, she's just so quiet," you know, she's just so quiet. And um, even with being on the app, like people that know me prior to the show, um, know me of like really shy, like not speaking at all, you know. So with doing that shadow work that I didn't even know that I was doing. Thanks for the terminology. Doing that shadow work, it helped me to understand where to go, what to be, who I am and what my purpose is. So I'm grateful for shadow work. I am. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Light. What were you gonna say?
No, I'm just agreeing. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was just saying good morning, everybody. Hey, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. This is Divine Living. We are talking about unmasking shadows today. Hence some of the costumes. I am, yeah, I'm not a makeup artist, but I like dressing up. And so and so today I'm half dark, which is no longer really dark, but half dark, dealing with the pain of my past and trying to let some of this other stuff shine through, you know. The great things that thank you, Play Jade. The great things that I am wanting to be manifest in my life. What are, let's see, are there any potentials that rest or our challenges are involved in the process of unmasking? Are there any potential um, challenges that rest in unmasking the our shadows? What does that look like for you? So when we talk about unmasking, uh, are there challenges that you faced? What does that look
Yeah.
like?
First of all, us being humans, we always have that naysayer. We always have that one that's saying, "Don't put that book out. They're not gonna read it. Don't do that dance. They're not gonna watch it.
Mm,
Don't." Then we always have that naysayer. So when we speak against it, we are challenging our fear. We're challenging our naysayer. We're challenging the power inside of us. But at the same time, that can go in an adverse effect. We can challenge and not pull up to the challenge. We can sit there and say, well, I'm comfortable how I am right now. Let's not delve into anything. I don't want to uncloud anything. I don't want to dig up any bones or anything like that.
mm-hmm,
Just leave it where it is, but that's extremely hindering because you're never going to grow, you're never going to excel. And for the things and levels that you need to get to in life, we have to get these tools, we have to grab these tools. This is why the attacks come. This is why things get hard, because it's allowing us to sharpen ourselves and refine ourselves, fix the things in us that are wrong or that are awry, so that we are able to succeed in that next level of life, or succeed with that
mm-hmm.
next in life. So I feel like, on a good standpoint, yes, because you challenge yourself and you go against your naysayers. And no, on another end, because it can completely stop you in your tracks and not let you advance at all.
Yeah.
Mm. Ooh, you said a mouthful. Um, Unmasking has challenges. All right, so for everybody, my costume is Corpse Bride. And the reason why I chose this because even before I was diagnosed with cancer, even before that, I was like very cold, right? I grew up in a household full of love, so that wasn't the reason as to why I was so cold. Growing up in New York City, you kind of have to be uh, very aggressive, as they say. You have to be cold, showing love out there, especially me coming in from Barbados. It was definitely a big change for me. So, masking has challenges for me in particular because it's me learning myself all over again and learning to be in a space where I can open up and express. It's okay to be nice to somebody. It's okay to be kind. It's okay to love. And that took a lot of time. That took a lot of time. So now it's just kind of like, I feel like the challenges with that now, of course, it's the feedback, hearing the negative side, because people probably have one way that they look at me now, versus how they, from before. So unmasking, I believe it has its challenges. You have to go through a lot of things. It's definitely going to take a lot of shadow work. It's not going to be something that's like can be fixed overnight, and it's not something that's going to be easy either.
But what's the saying? Anything that's worth it, you got to work at it. It's gonna be hard. You know what I'm saying? But that in itself, that's a lot of fear. Cause like when you said that you
Mhm.
resonate with I'm afraid to step out.
Mhm.
I resonate with that to the 18th million degree, especially when it comes to me putting myself out there. So like
Right.
speaking, dancing, even doing this, even coming to this app and speaking, I, I had my naysayer, I had my fear. Cause like, who's gonna want to listen to you? Who's gonna want to believe you? You know, you don't, you're not accepted by these people. You're not accepted by those people. Nobody's gonna support you. This whole thing. But the more we hear the naysaying and the more we see the rejection, the more we have to fight, because that is proof that we are stepping in the correct places. That's proof that we're onto the right path of correction, of whatever we were created to do, to step out and be amazing. Because there are so many people out here that just off of what we give, they're blessed, and that blessing trickles down to whatever else. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we make each other greater by overcoming our adversities with ourselves.
Mhm. Ooh, I like that part. I like that part. Um, but do you feel like when it comes to I want to talk a little bit more about what shadows are and shadow work is, because like me, this may be new to a lot of people, dealing with shadows and what that work really looks like. Does anybody want to talk about that for just a moment before I jump into maybe some other topics too? What does that look like for you? Like, um, what symbols, what representations, what does are associated with shadows, and how this is real work for you or myself? Yeah.
It definitely is real work. On a tangible aspect, you get somewhere in solitude and in silence. It doesn't necessarily have to be dark. Shadow is just a euphemism for the things that you're hiding. So start speaking out your truth. Start speaking out your pain. Say it into the atmosphere. So one of the
Mm,
amazing things being able to do that is it no longer has only a battlefield in your mind. Now it's in the atmosphere. Now you can look at it, you can pick it out. You don't feel you're no longer stifled by anything that you're holding inward, because our brain can calculate all different types of things, and we continue to knock ourselves down. We continue to fight ourselves mentally. And what does that do? That tears down our body, that tears down our immune system, that tears down our pride for ourselves, our hope, our love for ourselves. That's what that does. So when you start doing shadow work, speaking those things out allows you a bigger playing field. It
mm-hmm.
allows you a bigger aspect to be able to actually get to the root of anything and everything that you're going through. It allows you to see it in a clearer light. And
Right.
that is so much of a superpower on your part, because then you have the ability to take hold of it as opposed to it taking hold of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whew. Shadow work is diving deep into yourself, just figuring out what it is about you, as far as like your personality, what's going on, what's stopping you from achieving anything. I mean, you got to do the work. I mean, everybody, I feel like everybody should do shadow work. I
Yes.
feel like everybody should dive in themselves and figure out. more about them, because for me, I learned a lot about myself in the past 3 to 4 months. It took time. I mean, I'm still learning about myself. So I feel like shadow work is definitely necessary. It's definitely necessary for you, how you talk to others, how you view others, and just how others view you.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally agree. Shadow work is important.
So
I,
when we talk about working on our shadows, that actual shadow work, what does that look like for you? What does the work look like for you? What is that process?
it gets grimy. It get real. I guarantee you, you're gonna be snotting and choking up in just a
Tears,
second. But
pain,
it's
pain,
fine.
tears, hurt,
Yeah,
reality check. Yeah.
yeah, no, for real. It really is. It really is. And I don't need anybody to think that this is not going to be a difficult thing, but we are strong. We have the power in us, and it's worth it because this is you. This is where you solidify self love. This is where you solidify self esteem and self accountability. Because a lot of us, what we do, especially the things that are hurting us, what we do is we go back in our thoughts and we relive, we attach our emotions. You know what I'm saying? We go through these things, but those, like I said, they stay in our head. So look how much
Mm-hmm.
construed it could be in your head. So when you get it out, there's no more misconstrued. There's no more
Mm-hmm.
misfunction. There's actual truth. There's, for instance, for example, there was a situation that happened with me at dance class, and I carried that with me for a while. This lady told me I was too fat to dance. You're never going to be talented. You're never going to do anything because your butt's too big, your thighs is too fat. Nobody's going to accept you. And that crushed me because dance is my
Mm-hmm.
passion. And that's something that I absolutely love with all of my heart. So for years, anytime I went to auditions or anytime I had anything going on, I thought of that prior to the audition, and it hindered me. It
Mm-hmm.
stopped me from doing my best, which stopped me from getting gigs, which stopped me from getting jobs. You get what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
that I kept that in my head. When I spoke it aloud, I realized that I gave it more power than it actually had over me.
Come on now. Oof.
That in itself is freeing. You know what I'm saying? That in itself allows you to know you are stronger than your adversities. You are capable. We are pliable. We are bendable. Sometimes breaking is a good thing. And at the end of the day, what does it take to make a gem? What does it take to make a
Mm-hmm.
jewel?
Mm-hmm.
Pressure.
You got to go through
Work
that
and
crushing.
pressure. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You feel one
Right.
of y'all are diamonds. Every one of y'all shine. So of course,
Mm-hmm.
you
That gave me a little bit chills, like all down the right side of my
Yeah, that
arm,
just
just like, girl,
yeah.
oh, because I know that story. I know that story. So many times we live in what people expect from us, not what our true purpose is, but what they saw us as. I know that to be true. So true for me. One reason why I never would speak, one reason why I would never sing, no, one reason why I didn't want to be seen, you know, because they said, sit down. They said, sit down. And it's so funny because a lot of the people that said, sit down, I had to end up speaking up for them.
Wow.
I had to start speaking up for them. I almost want to cry today. But yes, it's wild. It's wild how I'm gonna let you speak. Wavy, what is your take on that? Because I can go.
Um, I mean, I can relate to light as far as the being, a little overweight and people saying things and it sticks with you. And it's crazy how it can stick with you all the way until like you're an adult. It can follow you, right? Until
Mm,
you face those things and you speak out about it. Mine for me was just accomplishing certain things in my life and me having to learn even in the moment of being excited, not sharing things too soon. So I would share things around certain people and I'm excited. Hey, yeah, I'm about to do this, I'm doing this, and I'm working on this. And then they'd be like, oh, you gonna do that? Why you gonna do that? You ain't gonna, that ain't gonna go take off like that because, you know, in this field, you're not gonna make it here, right? And I would used to
Mm-hmm.
carry that with me. I used to carry that with me. And it was just more like, me doing the shadow work, learning for one, don't ever speak on anything until you it's confirmed. For two, be careful who you surround it around because when you hear people talk like that, some people ignore it. It kind of like you brush it off. And that's what I used to do. I used to brush it off, but it would really bother me. It would be brush it off to them, but when I would go in the house, I'm sitting and thinking about it over and over again. As far as not wanting to move forward, so moving ahead, my sneaker business is doing great. But before that, of me talking about it to certain people and not keeping it to myself or as just writing it down, journaling, uh, it hindered me. It hindered me. It
Mm-hmm.
made me not want to work. It made me not want to do customs. It made me want to step away. As I said before, this past week, getting discouraged, looking at other things and listening to what other people would say to me, and just their words aren't powerful unless I give it power. So I had to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So shadow work is definitely something that is going to take time. You got to figure out what it is that's hindering you or what's bothering you. Because sometimes as an adult, you don't realize certain things follow you from childhood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't like
Mm.
attention from guys. So I wouldn't wear tight fitting clothes when I was younger. So it was me wearing baggy t-shirts, baggy jeans, don't look at me, and me being the chubby kid, the fly chubby kid, but the chubby kid, and it was just kind of like, you can't fit that dress, or I don't think that you can go because or finding out people are inviting certain people to certain things and you're not invited. But those are things that I
Mm.
had to deal with moving forward. So yeah, it took a lot,
Wow.
and like I said, there's a lot of pain behind it. People don't see it, and when people say words are not powerful, words don't hurt. That I believe that's lies. I just feel like people
Yeah.
mask it. So it's kind of like they can brush it off in public, but behind closed doors, they may be crying. They might be feeling suicidal. They might fall into depression from it. And then you
Mm.
can carry that into an adult. So I make sure um, moving forward, I speak positivity. I don't
Yeah.
speak negative. And anybody around me now is just positive people and really motivating and uplifting. Any negative people, I kind of isolate myself from. And I know now to keep my mouth closed
Mm-hmm.
moving forward with anything that I decide to do in the future.
That's powerful, Wavy. You better.
Yeah. Come on now. Right. Good morning, everybody. This is Divine Living. Divine Living is a personal growth and wellness show, you all. And today we are talking about unmasking shadows. And sometimes that can be scary. Sometimes that can be hurtful. Sometimes, most of the time, it is not pretty. It is not pretty work, you
Mhm.
know. There are some positive things to look back in reflecting into holding us secure. But a lot of times when we're talking about those
Yeah.
shadows, it is darkness. It kind of holds us back. So when we talk about shadows, can our shadows be a source of inspiration or creativity?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm the walking testimony for that. It can be inspiring, people knowing your story, what you've been through, things that you faced. If you speak on it, they got to know what's going on to be able to relate to you. It can inspire others and motivate others, I believe, with anything that they may want to do. Or it can be as far as make them feel confident for people who lack confidence or feel insecure about something. So it all
Hmm.
depends, but I believe it definitely can. It definitely brings out my creativity for sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. 7,000%.
Yeah. So when I talk about, the creativity and inspiration from shadows is my half face, my half face today, because a lot of times I've lived that half face person, I lived in that half face person, wanting to be here, over here. This is where I wanted to be, but always living here on the dark side. On hold your head down. Oh God, it. Y'all, I was just thinking about something when those words came out. So, 2022, if um most of you don't know, but 2022 was a really rough time for me. I experienced so many loss in 2022. A loss of my best friend, who I just kind of divorced as a friend, because it was no longer healthy. My best friend moved out of the country. Oh my gosh, my best friend moved out of the country. My daughter got a job. My daughter got a job out of state. I broke up with the guy that I was with, and my brother was killed. So all of that happened in like a 4-month span, like, But when I was talking about how these shadows happen, I remember and how people would say, you don't speak, you don't do this, you don't live this way. I remember at my brother's funeral, my dad got up to speak, and my dad has some memory issues, y'all. So him speaking is rough, anyways. But my dad got up to speak, and when he got up to speak, there was someone took a picture, and it was two of my sisters and my daughter there. Me, two of my sisters and my daughter, and all of us held our head down except for my daughter in this picture. And I was like, wow. To me, that showed that, even the shadows in that process, and it wasn't necessarily reverence. It was just how we were raised. Like, nope, hold your head down right now. Like, you don't talk. It just hold your head down. My daughter's sitting up there confident, like, okay, grandpa's speaking. And we were like, nope, you know, but when we're just talking about, what shadows do to us, and even in times where my dad probably needed a little more support getting through that position because his words weren't right. I'm just like, oh gosh, I need to stop. I need to just stop and just not speak, because that's how I was raised. You don't talk. I ended up having to take the microphone because he didn't know what he was talking about. And that's the other part for me too, because it was just like, now I have to be the voice to those that said, don't do it, and we can continue to live in a process of the effects of what our shadows have done, or when the shadows become a source of inspiration. Like, now I know that this is where I should have been according to them, but this is where I am according to my purpose. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. Sometimes I get to rambling in my words, and I'm the only one that makes any sense of it. But the sense of our own purpose. What does our purpose look like? Whew. Good morning, y'all. This is Divine Living, and sometimes it gets deep in here. So hopefully y'all can come with us and get up out of these shadows too. It gets a little deep in here. I'm happy that you are here. Divine Living is a personal growth and wellness show. And guess what? I'm going to be bringing the art of sound today. I don't have a long part to say or a long piece to say, but I'm going to be doing the art of sound today because that's what I wanted to do. If you don't know what the art of sound is a part of the show that I've designed to help us understand what words do, what music does, what it does to our healing, what it does to our soul. And sometimes we just have to take the time out to listen, right? Sometimes we just got to take the time out to listen. So thank you both for coming and hanging out with me. We're not done yet. I'm just talking about that part right now. What did you both say? I don't think I heard from you, Light, about creativity and inspiration. Did you say something about creativity and inspiration? Mm.
Um,
I started talking, and I know Wavy said some things, but
I completely agree with what Wavy said. I feel like inspiration is definitely a must to continue to ignite your fire for your passion, because we do have so many naysayers. We do have our own personal naysayer. We do have so many adversities that come up against us. It is very important to look for and recognize signs of motivation, encouragement, and just being resilient overall. um, of course, there are forces that come against us that don't want us to be successful. There are forces that come up against us that don't want us to have a sound mind or a healed soul, or recover from any of the things that have come up against us. And when that happens, we have to just focus on the adverse, because there's a balance. This world is definitely a balance. So just like the attacks come in, the blessings come in. But us, as we have been wired and formed, conformed to this world, we tend to find comfort in sadness more than comfort in joy. We tend to recognize the bad more than we give the good power. So in doing that, we've already kind of set ourselves up for failure. But one of the wonderful things that shadow work does is it allows you to be selective and intentional with your words, so that you can fight and be accountable for your own victory, for you understanding that you have your own victory, that nothing that comes against you, anything that forms, cannot prosper, because it doesn't have that ability to be powerful enough to knock you down. So we just have to
mm,
use devices that we can. The smallest thing can be inspirational. The smallest thing
mm,
can and pull you out. So just continue to put in the right energy to the right things. Put the right importance on the right things.
Oof.
ooh, yeah.
I just want
Thank
to
you.
piggyback before we move forward off of something you said. It brought me back to something. As far as you saying that you looked at a picture of you and your family, and your daughter was the only one looking up, and that brought you back to a space that kind of made you realize, like, um, I used to do that. So it was just like I didn't know that I would do it. So as I said before, I would wear big clothes and stuff. I didn't want to wear like tight fitting clothes and stuff when I was younger. I wore like big t-shirts and jeans and stuff like that. They thought I was, I just thought I was a tomboy. But it was really because I didn't want nobody looking at me. I didn't want no guys looking at me. So you're saying you had your head down. I used to walk with my head down, like literally. I
Mm-hmm.
could get out of a car, I could be anywhere, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
at the ground because phones wasn't such like a big deal as of right now. But I used to walk, and my mom would say, like, I just noticed like every time you look at the ground, like why you? And I'm like, huh? Like what are you talking about? She was like, every time I'm with you somewhere, we going somewhere, you get out the car or you coming out of the store, whatever, you're looking down, like, and why don't you keep your head held high? And that made me, from right there when she asked me that, it just made me kind of like, I started thinking about it because I'm like, somebody noticed something about your body mannerisms you don't even realize that you're doing. And
Mm,
it was because if I go in the store, there's a bunch of dudes outside, or in the store, I'm looking down. Let me go get what I gotta get, come out. That was just like my safety, like my tent. So after that, it took some time, but then I started like seeing that I would do it. So now I keep my head held high, of course,
mm-hmm.
now. But before, I was like, why is that? Why do I do that? I don't even know why I do that. I had to go do the shadow work and figure out as to why that was the thing. So, yeah, that when you said that, it definitely brought me back to that.
Yeah. Mm,
It also showed me that a generational curse was broken.
Right.
that's right.
Right.
Ooh, woo. Oh my goodness. I got like a two-part question that will lead to the our conclusion of the show. This hour just runs by so fast. So, how does the process of unmasking our shadows relate to being authentic or living an authentic life? And how, what role does it play in self compassion?
A lot of the time, we are very impatient with ourselves. We rush ourselves. We get aggravated with ourselves if we don't understand something, if we're not comprehending something. Why are you so this? Why are you that? We down ourselves. We pound on our egos, our self esteem. But one of the amazing things about doing shadow work is it allows you to live in love of yourself. It allows you to have full knowledge of yourself and understanding that loving your good and your bad, loving your flaws and everything. I don't even like to say flaws because I just believe that those are distinct characteristical traits.
Come on
Okay. I don't
now.
think they're.
Yeah.
So I just think that it's freeing. You walk around with so much love for yourself. It's just, oh God, I can't even get it out because it's just so amazing. You don't feel clouded anymore. You don't feel down anymore. You don't feel ashamed of anything that you used to be or any of that. You no longer answer to these names. It's just absolutely amazing how much love and esteem you have for yourself. And when you start getting a piece of it, you get addicted because you're going to want more and more. You're going to want to heal more and more. You're going to want to walk in your glory and in your greatness more and more because we are the only ones who give it away. We allow people
Mm,
to take it, allow it to be disingenuous. We allow it to be invaluable. And we have to start fighting against that because this is for us. And if we don't love
mm,
ourselves, we can't love the people around us. We say we love them, but think about how much more love, how much more support, how much more genuine care that you can give the people in your life once you fully, genuinely love and care and support yourself. You got to start at home.
yes.
We give
Ooh.
people out of our cup and we're empty. But we have to start giving
Mm-hmm.
people our
With the overflow. Hello.
so that they can get the extra
Mm,
blessing, just like we are.
mm. Come on. Come on. Come on, light.
Right? Come
Woo.
on. Like,
I start crying.
Uh,
oh my gosh. I resonate.
ooh, shoot.
Um, wow. I feel like what Light said, you are your own person. So you being authentic is just you design yourself. You pretty much design yourself and mold yourself to who you truly are when you do the shadow work. You surround yourself around. You got to start surrounding yourself too more around people that's similar to in your purpose of where you're headed. I feel like if you're not,
Mm,
you're gonna continue to stay stagnant. You're gonna be stuck. It's like someone planning to be successful there with a group of people and they're talking about it, but only one person is trying to move the wheel. You're gonna stay stuck. It's not gonna move. So for me, being authentic, I am authentic because I'm me. People gonna gravitate towards me, or people may not. You know, I'm not for everybody. But one thing I've learned while doing the shadow work is who can be me. Nobody can
Hello?
be me. Who can be me,
woo.
right? You can
Almost
write it, you
stuck
can
up,
write it down.
baby.
You can go and trace it. You can try to follow my blueprint, but you can't be me. So for
That's
me, the
right.
shadow work is identifying with myself as who I want to be to the world, who I want people to view me like my true
Mm,
self, and anything that I've went through, I want you to know that. I'm not hiding it
mm-hmm,
because there's so many people in the world that is going through similar things that I may have been through. So my story may be beneficial to someone else. My story may
mm,
inspire someone else. It may help somebody get out of depression, stop a
mm-hmm,
at an addiction. So for me, hiding behind a mask, why would I hide behind a mask? I'm authentic.
mm,
You're gonna love it here. You know what I'm saying? So that was things that I had to learn while doing the shadow work. It was why. trying to confine myself to this small space. The internet, a small space. People who want to be like other people, a small space. When I could stand
Mm-hmm.
out and you guys can see, I can clear the room. I can bring people together. I can, have you gravitate towards me, just by me, you know, God speaking through me. Okay, this
Mm.
is my mouthpiece. I'm just spreading the word. So for me, it was just more as surrounding myself around people who are like-minded like me, who are motivated like me. And you don't have to follow the same things as me because you may not want to be a sneaker customizer. You may not want to be a real estate investor, right? Those
Mm-hmm.
may not be your steps along the path. But people got to understand the crabs in the barrel, they keep pulling each other down. You got to be each other's crutch. That's the only way you're going to get to the top. So
Wow.
the people that's in my circle is the people that's going to the top with me. There's no people that's in no crab barrel with. I don't have to dim light on you so I can shine. Because when I walk in the room, we all gonna shine. So
We
yeah,
all
I know that's
I
together.
right.
think that's the
We
whole
all
thing
gonna
of being
shine.
authentic. So
Oh,
yeah.
Man. I'm
it.
saying amen like we in church. Come on now. Because that's how I
Honey.
and
feel.
that's
Like,
and that's what made me want to be more open about me being diagnosed with cancer. I'm no longer with cancer. For those, I'm cancer
amen.
free now. But I
Mm.
was hindering myself because it was more as if I tell people that I'm sick, I don't want people to be like, "Oh my God, Wavy." Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't want that, right? I wanted to look at like, dang, Wavy started here and she motivates in her stream and look where she at right now, and she not letting that stop her that she's sick. What is sick? I'm not giving sick power, right? If
Mm-hmm.
I give it
Mm-hmm.
power, I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna mope and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be depressed. So if I speak
Mm-hmm.
about it, I mean, my significant other knew, but anybody else they didn't know, and me
Mm-hmm.
protecting myself around hurting other people, I didn't realize I was hurting other people.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
me being cranky
Wow.
or
Come on
me
now.
having pain in my breast, I hope that's
Mm.
okay to say on your feature
Yeah.
show.
Come on now.
Me having pain there and taking that out on somebody in a stream or somebody that's just around me in general, and they not even knowing what's going on, I felt like that was unfair. So yeah,
Yeah.
moving forward, I said, okay, the more I talk about it, the more people be like, yo, what? Wavy, you've been through that and you right here right now and you're the standing
Mm.
walking testimony. You know what? Today I'm gonna get up and I'm about to start a business. I'm about to start the work to get started on my business. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I felt like this was the platform for it.
Yeah.
Versus
Woo.
me before saying, nah, I ain't telling nobody nothing. If I pass away,
Right.
I ain't even know what's going on, not even my own mother, right?
Mm.
But it wouldn't have been fair. It would have been so selfish. So I felt like I'm the voice. Let me speak to the people. If I'm
Yeah.
speaking realistically. So somebody got somebody in their family who got cancer or passed away from cancer, and it's affecting them. It's hurting them. So maybe I can be their light. Maybe I can be their light in their darkness in their tunnel. So yeah,
Mm.
that's what makes me
Thank you.
authentic after doing all my shadow work.
Woo.
And I love Glory Queen.
Woo.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this piece real quick and we're gonna close out. Y'all stay right here with me, don't leave. And then we can do our outros together. If y'all feel like leaving, y'all know me, I always hang around for a little bit afterwards. But here we go with this is a piece that I wrote a little while ago, but I felt it was befitting for today. So here we go. It's called Trauma Trigger. That's what I'm naming it today. The name changes often, but here we go. I ran him over and it scared my soul. Heart racing, standing still, but out of control. No police or EMT needed. You are dead to me. The perception of reality came out in a dream. Silent screams as I spun out of control, pressing on, no slamming on the brake. They don't work anymore. Checking all mirrors, left, middle, and right. All clear, at least by first sight. So I backed up with a smile on my face, forgetting the past. Today is a new day. But just as I began to forget, it all came back like whiplash. You're not done here. The new beginnings start when you deal with the past. I ran him over. Scary as it may seem, limp and lifeless, I wanted to scream, but I didn't because I knew it wouldn't help. This had to be attacked head on. I was being propelled, not through the windows or through the doors. I ran him over. This small frame. It was an incredible silence that I was forced to endure. Help me! Help me! Help me! I called out. I didn't know. I didn't see him. Were the only words I knew. Funny. Not funny. What trauma can make you do? As people came from all around, I turned to my right, a familiar face to comfort me. He said, things aren't as bad as they seem. Yes, you ran him over, a present reminder of the past. You must deal with your trauma. Acknowledge your pain. Don't run from it and actually give it a name. Hurt, sadness, grief, depression, they don't have to be your name. Press through the trigger one by one. Yes, I ran him over, but only in a dream. Reality is trauma could win. Woo!
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
did you
Thank
brush your
you.
teeth?
Thank you.
Don't take care of yourself.
Yeah. I just wanted to do that piece today because part of shadow work is actually dealing with the trauma of our past, and what that looks like to me, what that looks like to you, um, is totally different.
Mhm.
My purpose is not your purpose. Your purpose is not my purpose. But we all have to do the individual work. Thank you, ladies, for coming and hanging out with me and dealing with our shadows today. um,
Put a name on it because once we call something out, we have dominion over it.
Yeah.
mhm,
Right.
that's facts.
Right.
That is so true. Give it a name, y'all. And know where it stems from. Know where it stems from. Don't just give it some made up thing. That's just like when you go to the doctor, you don't make up a diagnosis and start treating that before you know what that diagnosis is. Go and do the work, y'all. Figure out where this pain stems from. That's what shadow works is all about. Shadow work is all about knowing where it stems from so that you know how to deal with it. You will never be the same as you were before the trauma. Don't think that
Mm,
you will be.
Right.
can't be.
You won't. And that's perfectly okay. It's okay.
Because you're molding into a better you. Because you're amazing. Be amazing.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, this has been Divine Living. Ladies, you can let everybody know where they can find you, what you got going on, or anything like that. Right. Somebody closing their eyes. Let everybody know what's going on with you.
First and foremost, my name is Wavy. If you don't know, your favorite sneaker customizer. Make sure you tap in my IGs in the bio. My hands is crazy for the record. I'm definitely in a competition right now to be the number one sneakerhead. If you guys can please go to the link in my Instagram bio and vote for me. I'm at number 2 right now. If I get number 1, I get to work with one of the biggest sneakerheads in the world, the surgeon, and I also get to be flew out to LA, and I
Oh,
get a
food.
$10,000 prize, and be labeled the first queen, sneakerhead queen. So I appreciate, anybody who wants to go on my Instagram and just vote for me. It's free. You can vote every 24 hours. It's free. You can catch me on my stream. I stream random times. I don't have a set schedule, but tap in with me. I'm usually doing sneakers, but now I've been trying to tap in more into makeup. I'm learning. Okay, so don't judge my makeup. You know what I'm saying? But make sure you just tap in with me. I appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for
Thank you
having
so
me.
much, Wavy. Thank you. Thanks
Congratulations
for
on your
coming out and hanging out with me.
food out and stuff. That's right. You better do it, Queen.
Yes. All right. My queen light.
I
Talk to the
don't stream
people.
anymore. Last night was my last stream for quite some time. So you can catch me in awesome people's lives like Divine, Wavy, you know what I'm saying? Aquarian, I pop through their lives, seeing I come and love on them. We have great conversations and we just share good time, space, and energy. So other than that, I want to speak life and love, prosperity, and peace into every single soul in this place. I think you guys are absolutely phenomenal from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. Continue to work on yourself, continue to step into your greatness because there's so much amazing stuff inside you. Continue to believe in yourself, love yourself. And if you don't think nobody got your back, I believe in you. I got your back. So keep going.
That's
Hello.
right. Oh, I'm back
And
at
this,
you. I believe in you. I got your back.
yes,
I
hello.
believe in you. I got your back. That's for real.
And that's the last thing
Oh
I want to say
gosh.
before I sign out. For one, thank you, Miss Divine, for having me on this amazing panel today. The show was amazing as always.
Thank you.
Your makeup is amazing as always. I know you're trying to tap into it a little bit too.
Thank you.
But remember what I said, guys. Don't let nobody dim your light, and maybe you need to be the light in somebody's darkness.
Mm, mm. Wow. Thank
Get
you.
out. Look, you can't even get out.
That was so fun. That was so fun. I want to thank everybody for coming and hanging out with me. Everybody. I want to say a special thank you to all of the people that stopped by and my gifters. G-Way, Light, Shimmer, Plain Jane, Jamila Joy, CD Tate, Rello, Gugu, Men of Steel, and Ghost Pressure. Those are my top 10. And I will leave you with this as always. Without words, the speech cannot be heard. Without a voice, there's nothing to be said. Without sound, it's only left to be seen. And without them all, we're just beings without being a thing. Use your voice to be the light of change. This has been another episode of Divine Living. Y'all come and hang out with me. Oh, I have no idea what I'm doing the next couple of weeks because I will be traveling, but we will see what happens. So y'all just come on back and check me out and see what's going on with Divine Living. November has just been it's going to be a crazy exciting month. So y'all just